Good evening, all. Ira Epstein of Linn & Associates with your SPDR ETF wrap-up for this Tuesday, and this is the 20th of October, 2020. We're going to wake up in the morning and hopefully hear better things are happening in the negotiations on COVID relief in America. About 4:45 this afternoon, Ms. Pelosi's team came out and said that negotiations are continuing and they're getting closer and closer. I don't know what that means. I don't know who's giving in on what, but what I said in my other interviews, well, at my other wrap-ups, right word. By the way, I used interview because on my head, I'll be out in Australian TV. You'll see me at 4:30 p.m. Central Time in America on SkyBiz on this coming Thursday. So please tune in if you're watching. But if you're looking at what's going on, basically, these markets are caught with, do we get a relief bill now or do we get a relief bill later? It is not a question of we're not going to get a relief bill. If we get it now, it's immediately friendly from the way the markets are acting. The stock market, probably friendly anything inflation related, bearish the dollar index. If you don't get it right now, it's enough cause for possibly a setback, given that we have the presidential debate and given that we have the election 2 weeks from today. We'll see what goes on. I was watching a number of TV hosts today that seem to think, and their guests seem to think, that it doesn't matter if President Trump wins or loses. The first reaction of the market will not be a crash about taxes. They seem to be almost universal, which always scares me, but almost universal that the market will take it in stride, just the way with the President Trump's win, and up and away you go, because there's going to be a lot more spending, regardless of who wins, to get infrastructure and other things done. Now, it won't be as easy a deal to get all that done if President Trump wins or if the Senate stays with the Republicans. But if you get a sweep, that's a different game, and the market seems to be thinking that way. When we look at the tech sector, you know, you've heard for days that they're going to drop a shoe on Google. Does anybody really think they're going to break Google up? I'm not in that camp at all. I mean, it's not the place necessarily to be right now, and that's going to weigh on the FANG stocks a little bit, but the word is a little bit. I don't think they're going to be able to do an awful lot to it. We'll see if I'm right or wrong, but I've seen these events happen before, and they generally turn out to be more of a buying opportunity than a selling opportunity. XLK is in a downtrend. By the way, I was talking about Google on that. Lower highs, lower lows. Where's the market headed? To the 18-day average of closes. That's all that I think the market is headed to, and you're basically there. You missed it by 4 cents today. So what happened? You lost, well, I'll show you this. You lost an embedded reading. That's what happened. And when you lose those readings, it's often. Folks, the word always is not the right word. I've seen this fail. But it's often a sign that if it stays unembedded for 2 days, you're going back to the 18-day average, or the closest moving average under the market happens to be the 18-day right here. And this is what I preach and teach in a very, I think you'll like it, in my charting course. My charting course really shows how to work with a lot of this. SMH, you lost the reading today. Now, if we look prior to this, this was yesterday, you lost the reading and now you confirmed it. So unless this market comes up through the highs back here, the odds favor price and the 18-day average are going to make a run at each other. In XLI, you still have the embedded reading at work. You have a pattern, though, that is ugly as can be in the chart pattern, lower low, higher high, but this stays in place as bullish until it's lost. So the red line would have to close under the 80 level. It's not there. If you take out the highs of Monday, which is an outside day down, and that number was 82.13, that puts into play the upper Bollinger Band very quickly at 82.72, in my opinion. In XLI, you've been running on a downtrend, momentum down, bias down, trend down. In order to negate that, you've got to take out this high, which is 30.87. Don't take it out, and you still have in play the lower Bollinger Band of 29.06. The trend is still to the downside. Again, QQQ, for me, that's close enough. You missed it by 20 cents, and again, you lost the embedded reading right here. And that's when the market was closing at 290.10. It stayed and lost here at 288.58, and now you're dropped that 6 points. And that's a good number, $6, and this is a nice little trade if you caught that in a reverse trend trade. What do I mean by reverse? The trend, while the swing line turned down, the bias stayed up this whole time. This was based on losing the embedded stochastic. Now I want to see what the market wants to do from there. The emerging markets, you've got lower highs, lower low. Now let's talk about this for a moment. I want you to look at this. You had an outside day down yesterday at 65.17. You took that out by a tick. Unless you go back through yesterday's lows, this market favors we're going back to the upper Bollinger Band. Let's see if that works out to be the case or not. It could be a trap. We'll see. One tick is enough. That's all it takes. In gold, all of a sudden a bullish reaction. Oh my gosh. Higher lows, higher highs. Until today's low is taken out, this market threw out for the first time in a very long time, very long time, a buy signal over the 18-day average of closes. It hadn't done that since way back over here. We'll see if it can get any legs or not. What number don't I want to see taken out? What was today? If you look at today's range, 178.08 to 179.67, and yesterday's range, you have an outside day up. So until today's low's taken out, I think all of a sudden, in a very sneaky manner, the bulls grab control for the very first time in a very long period. Upper Bollinger Band could be your target. GDX is not in this camp. GDX hit its upper Bollinger Band and fell into the support we've talked about for the past 2-3 days at the combination of the 18 and the 100-day average of closes. It is not in a downtrend or an uptrend. TLT. The curve yield continues to widen. Now, a widening curve yield is often associated with an economy that's growing. Why? You can keep short-term rates low, but as you're going to lend out money for longer periods of time, if people can pay it, you're saying, I want higher return on my money. And that's what's going on. Does the Fed want that? No. So the question is, where does the Fed, or does the Fed step in at some point to say enough of that? I don't have an answer for you. Are we trending? We are not. You have a higher high and a lower low, and you're already in oversold territory. Last, in the euro currency. Again, this market popped up without a trend. What the market did is yesterday it broke the downtrend. Remember, I told you this just yesterday. And now the market's trying to get right up to that upper Bollinger Band. The market is looking at all this and probably saying a couple of things. Gee, the thinking seems to be the dollar will go down if there's a COVID relief deal. The U.S. gets stronger, we import more goods, it benefits foreign countries that we do a lot of trade with. We'll worry about the U.S. problems with how you pay for all this once our legs are back under us as an economy. And by that time, we hope that sometime next year we have a vaccine. Now, I saw Pfizer's, I think it was the CEO, say that he doesn't expect to have a vaccine until next year. I don't know. I don't have the slightest idea. I'm certainly not as smart as he is, not in that part of his what he does. And these people know. And we'll see if they come out with that or not. There's a lot of tests going on. Things are moving along, but tests take time, and then you get the first results. That takes time. He may be very right. We may already have things, but they need to be proven. No way to know with all that. This is what we talk about. Now, at 4 o'clock each day, or just slightly earlier, I record an ETF video. It covers the spiders and the ETFs. And I'm telling you the things that I think you could buy, sell, or a lot of caution, like right now, the COVID-19. Setting you up for the trades for 8:30 when the market's open for you. The combo package is what's fascinating because at 5:30 to 5:40 a.m. Central Time, I'm putting out your video package on the futures. It's all for the subscribers. Now, what happens there is now I can tell you, hey, we're down 200 points in the Dow. you're not looking to be a buyer. There was no COVID relief, doesn't look like there is one. Hey, there's a COVID package. We're up 200 points in the Dow, probably going higher. Everything I said in the ETF still makes sense. Go with it. Don't go with it. Got what I'm doing? One goes with the other. Why? Do you not think the DIA, QQQ, SPY, IWM, they're not all looking at the futures markets, TLT? I can go on and on down your list. That's not to say that there aren't those spiders that look at sections within sections. They do. I know that. But we cover all this, about 40 futures charts, and I cover all this area for you on the spiders in the ETFs. So between the two, you get one part of the day, the other at the other, and all of a sudden, I think you have a pretty good package that you're looking at. And from there, in terms of the package, you can bounce your ideas off yourself and say, gee, I liked this anyways. Look what that's doing. It makes sense. That's what my spider ETF futures videos all do. So if you'd like to get this, just go to our website. And where is that? www.iraepstein.com. On the bottom right, you'll see our free offers, and/or you can go to the research section. It explains all my research products, which are the subscriptions to the Spider ETF videos and, of course, the futures combo package with it. I'm Ira. You have a good day. Let's hope we get a package that gets through here. I think the world needs it, and it is the world. I'm Ira Epstein. You have a good day.